Welcome back to UX India 2025. Hi, my name is Gaurangi Jain and I have Mr. Mohan Krishnaraj today with me, Global Head of Design at Cognizant. Welcome, sir. We are so pleased to have you here and we are so excited to deep dive into design, AI, business leadership, and get to know more of your views on the same. So, let's get on to it.
Thank you so much. And UX India is always home for me because it's the community that we always wait to meet. And this is the best forum that we always get all the community. And now it has been expanding over years. But I had also released my book in one of the UX India in Hyderabad itself.
That is so
I have
great.
a good relationship with this conference. So
Wow.
big here.
That is so great. That is so great. I mean, we would love to listen and hear more about your book.
This is a great balancing act. It's a book that I've written on how do you balance what user expectations are and the kind of experience that you deliver. So this is based on my past more than 2.5 decades of experience of seeing how things have evolved. I've written this based on my experience on how could you really match the expectations. And frankly, I know there will be questions around AI today.
Definitely.
We have done some research around how users' expectations have skyrocketed in terms of AI is a magic wand. It could do things for us. Then however, even marketeers are really struggling to keep up to that state of expectations from the users. So still it's relevant on the topic of how do you match the expectations and experience.
That is a very interesting point of view, and I would like to build around it more. So, in your point of view, how do you see AI as a helper or as a disruptor? And how AI is helping you in the UX building and basically talking about how AI is helping you in your business strategies.
So look, AI is a great enabler if it is rightly used. And
Right. Well said.
today, 95% of the projects are failing wherever there is AI initiatives that companies are planning is only because there's no human angle involved in it, where there's no emotions are taken care of. So designing for emotional integrity will be the key point here. And how does designers play a role here? Of course, it's going to change. It's not going to be the same. The linear is dead. If people are still trying to work around a beginning, a middle, and an end for anything that you're trying to do, it's not that anymore. Which is why we've also coined ourselves to be as Cognizant Moment. So not to really brand that, but the moment the user is with a brand, how do you frame that moment makes a big difference. And how do you deliver the exact contextual experience or an emotionally intelligent interface for that moment matters a lot. So all the science, all the experience that we have learned over time on how humans behave will take a change on the process, and it's going to change the way we work with with AI in between. It's going to do most of what we were doing, and now suddenly that will all become redundant, and we will have a different role to play.
Yeah, very well said. So basically, AI is going to be helpful when you use yourself as the main user and you use your mind together.
Yeah.
You cannot simply rely on AI,
Absolutely.
right? So, how do you think that, like, according to the mainstream right now, AI is a very big buzzword. So, how do you think people should actually work on it? Like, from a very beginner point of view, people who are getting into the industry right now, how should they prepare themselves for AI and for future?
Look, I think our whole purpose of existence in this community is to design something for humans.
Right.
Where we more look at what are human emotions, what are their behaviors, how do we change the way interaction paradigms
Right.
to make it more relevant to the users. And with that background, the more when you want to be more on the trend, I like to quote this what my CEO of Cognizant, Ravi Kumar, quotes that in one of the calls he said this that about 1850 times the oil was invented, and the whole world used oil for lamps. So when suddenly electric bulb came in, everybody thought the oil industry is dead. It's no more. So then suddenly there was a lot of new industries which cropped up, like OEMs and automotive and many other industries. The oil usage multiplied the industry in itself. So instead of becoming redundant or the oil industry going away, it became multifolded because of the different ways of usage of the same oil. So this is exactly what we are going through also. Right now it is all
right.
everybody's thinking, oh, design is dead. There is some, a lot of things,
Yeah.
a lot of designers' work will be taken over by AI. But there's a different way of storytelling, the
Right.
experience, the emotional integrity, and responsible AI. Today we are seeing scenarios where if people go to AI and ask them, how do I mean, if we have seen, you can go on media and check on this, that there are people, it's helping people suicide. So it's giving steps to do it. Those are not
Yeah.
acceptable. You need to have your own, the responsible AI makes it all
Yeah.
important, all the more important. The right way of storytelling, the positive way of communicating things, it becomes very important.
Yeah, that is a very well said line, because we need to have a perspective shift right now. We need to see AI as a tool and not just as something who is going to come and replace us. So, like, if we just talk around this more and take UX into the highlight, how do you connect business? And most importantly, organizations don't actually see UX as a business strategy helping tool. They see it as a visual design tool. So how do you help organizations change that perspective shift?
Well, you have to still, like how the old era was, where people did not understand what is design, what is experience. You still have to champion the whole model of how, in the world of AI, where most of the things can be automated and can be autonomous in itself and can be augmented in based on, and augmenting is the role which the designers will play. If you look at automation, augmentation, and autonomous, are mostly the three steps. The augmenting will be how everything that AI can create or humans can create can be augmented to the real life. What is the story?
Right.
What emotions are you trying to address? And what would you deliver at that time? And how responsible it is? How ethical is it? How do you handle biases in different ways? So these are all the major role which the designers will start playing in the future. Like I said, it's going to be a shift from what it was to what it is. So this shift also has to happen with a lot of effort from us, where we are, as designers, we should play the championing role of educating this importance and showing examples that without this, how does the whole product come out and so on.
That is very right. And also, if we think about it, we need to actually harness that and we need to work on it even better. For like, if we, as you just said, oil was when invented, it was taken as it might change everything, but we have seen how it has actually boosted everything, our GDP, our economy, and everything now runs on oil itself. So we will have to actually harness AI in the same way. And these are the kind of conversations we want to bring at UX India and change like the whole perspective for how we look at things. And so I would, me and our whole audience would love to know your journey, from where it started and what actually drew you towards design, then towards business, and what do you think are your plans are?
Yeah, actually, I started off at the beginning as a designer, and then it started building teams around. I started working in companies. I started building teams around different skills which did not exist back then. Back then, there was no proper graduation for design. There was no regulated ways of working on design, and there were the whole teams which were being formed were different skills where they picked up on their own passion and come into the space. So we were building teams at that part, and when we started proving it to the world that India can deliver amazing products and amazing experiential products from India, and best user experience can be delivered from here. So it was very tough times when we were always looked at as back office,
Right.
and we couldn't really do well. And our Indian companies were not also supporting much because they were always behind the commoditized skill, or which makes the big bucks. So the big move that we could bring into the industry, at least I was able to champion that, was into many companies that UX or design teams can make much more higher money than anything else.
Right.
So we started charging premium we started becoming the highest margin unit. We started the fastest growing units. And then that business sense made totally attracted the whole large companies to invest more into designs and start fighting the battle with us for across the world. So that gave energy and inspiration for the CEOs of many companies who supported me and my other peers in this
Yes.
industry to bring today what we're talking about, the larger UX
Yes.
teams.
So, like from cheap labor to leaders of today, we have come a very long way. So, what are your key points or something that you would like to tell the new generation people, young people who are getting into the field, who want to actually be at the role that you are right now? The mindset shift they should have, what kind of perspective, and what they should actually do.
See, being a designer, when you start off as a designer, you generally get very attracted to the fancy things we could do, the beautiful things, and how we can really make an agency style approach to everything. But you need to have a real mix of both, having agency style as well as making business sense. Only then we will be able to make the mark in the industry. Changes are always coming. There is always a wave. Today it's AI, tomorrow it's something else. But if we keep humans in the middle of everything, keep them at the heart of your design whenever you do, and put their emotions in front of everything. Be the actual entry gate for any overload of technology or anything that comes over. So just make sure you control it for the humans that you're designing. You be the gateway to make sure that you deliver what is only required and not overload the users. So be honest, have fun, and learn to do business.
Right. That is a very good conversation that we had. And even I have learned so much today. And I truly believe that our audience would have got so many great insights on not just AI and design, but also on leadership, business approach, and the mindset on how to see things. Now, ending our conversation with a lighter note, I have a short rapid fire quiz for you. If you would like to go ahead with it.
Shoot.
I'll be asking you a few questions and you need to just answer them quickly in one word.
Yep.
So, your best book.
The Great Balancing Act.
Right. What is the best line about it or the best outcome?
Yeah, always the experience, the expectations of users are changing. So to match that experience is always difficult one.
Okay. And if not design, if not what you are doing right now, what was the best career that you could have chosen?
I would have been a film actor.
Oh, nice. That is a very interesting take. Thank you so much, sir. It was
Thank you.
really fun having a chat with you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you.